everybody. Thank you for joining us for our March version of Downtown Tempe Streetscape Improvements, Mill Avenue to University Rio Salado Merchants Meeting. Today is March 11th, 2025. I want to thank you for joining us. As we get into this, we're going to go through a lot of a project overview and progress and get into schedule and stuff like that later. So our project scope, as most of you may know already, was to improve the sidewalk and ADA things that we have up and down Mill Avenue, some of the things that don't meet current standards, things like that. We wanted to make sure that these are updated and safe for all pedestrians to walk, ride, whatever it is. We're also including expanded pedestrian space. As you can see, the new sidewalk pavers are going in fairly smoothly, as now that we got a pretty decent pattern going in. We also have some historic markers that are going to be going in on a lot of the corners. We're still working out some of the details for that, but we should start seeing some of those appear out there shortly. Infrastructure upgrades to the electrical and irrigation. Those have been a lot of the main focuses that we have at this point in time, and a lot of different locations. So we're making progress with making sure that all that's taken care of during this project. We also have some new bus shelters. And as you can see, if you're walking up and down between University and 7th Street at this point in time, you'll be able to see some new tree pallets that are out there as well. This is the project area. As I mentioned, it does start at University and head north to Rio Salado. We have recently just completed the section between University and 7th, and we've also got the pavers and most of the stuff done between 7th and 6th as well. We plan to be working and accelerating a lot of this stuff, and Casey will go over that here shortly over the summertime, but we will be in a lot of different areas, and we will be communicating with you prior to being in those areas as well.
So we'll run through some of the progress that we've made here over the last 6 or 8 months out there on Mill Avenue. First phase here, as many of you know, was the intersection of Mill Ave and University Drive. So that intersection, we improved the traffic signal infrastructure underground, installed new sidewalk ramps on the south side, and then the new bump outs on the north side. You can see in the picture on the screen there, the north side ramps include those new gray pavers and gray brick. That's kind of what you'll see as you work your way north as we're making progress along Mill Avenue. That's what the bump outs are going to look like going forward. We also repaved the intersection. There was brick that was previously in the intersection that was removed and replaced with asphalt. That was phase 1. Here's some progress photos of the corners there. You can see there's new concrete delineation bands that run along the patio edges and buildings. You'll see that as you work your way north on Mill Avenue as well. The concrete delineation bands separate the patio and the building from the sidewalk. So phase 2 was the stretch that Josh had talked about just a little bit ago between University Drive and 7th Street. This was on the east and west sidewalk areas. As you can see on the screen there, here's some pictures of that area that was recently completed. That also included some streetlight pole foundation upgrades, upgrading the existing foundations that were there. We actually built new ones. We did some ADA improvements as well to fix some of the sloping issues that were in between the intersections there as well. Installed new brick, as you can see, as well as new trees there. Phase 3, Josh had touched on this one as well, as the stretch from 7th Street to 6th Street in the sidewalk area. That was recently completed as of about 2 weeks ago. That also included utility infrastructure upgrades, new electrical conduit, and conductors, new irrigation piping and landscaping through there. You can see on the screen here, there's tree grates that were installed as well. We'll still need to go back in to install the trees, but that's what the tree grates look like. Basically, as you work your way up north onto Mill Avenue, that's what it'll look like all throughout. Phase 3 as well, 4th Street to Rio Salado Parkway. You'll see us out there right now on the east side, working in the sidewalk area. We've also recently installed some traffic signal improvements. That first picture on the top left there is us actually removing the existing brick to install the new underground infrastructure for the traffic signal. The picture on the bottom right, that's the removals that have been taking place over the last few weeks. We'll regrade that and install new brick in that area as well. So overall schedule, we talked about this a little bit ago, but construction began in April 2024 with phase 1, which was that University Drive intersection. That started in April and was completed on August 7th. Phase 2 was the stretch from University to 7th, and that was completed in early January. Phase 3 is really the rest of the project north from 7th Street to the north. That began in mid-October. And we just recently, as I said before, completed that section between 7th Street and 6th Street at the end of February. Going forward, as I mentioned before as well, the construction has really shifted to the north end of the project. Right now we're working on the east side between 4th Street and Rio Salado. The sidewalk improvements there began in late January and should be wrapping up here in the next few weeks. The stretch from 4th to 3rd finished or started right on the heels of that. And really it's going to be one full switch. Once we've got 4th to Rio Salado buttoned up, we'll start on the west side. And we anticipate that happening in early to mid-April. So the construction of the bump outs that we had talked about a little bit before, our plan is to really hit hot and heavy this summer. We'll start with the 7th Street bump outs. That's actually going to get started towards the end of this month. On the west side, we'll have both the northwest and the southwest bump outs being constructed concurrently. We'll also have work going on up at 5th Street leading up to the new bump out. Our plan is to have 5th Street and 7th Street going concurrently, so that we can really capitalize on the summer months. 6th Street will start kind of on the heels of 7th Street finishing. That'll start late summer, early fall. And that'll be one of the last pieces that we do there at 6th Street. And then following the 6th Street intersection being completed, we'll start on the remainder of the block sections between 6th Street and 5th Street, and then 5th Street and 4th Street. Construction is anticipated to be done by spring of 2026. So this is kind of our work hours as it currently stands, and these will change a little bit during the summer. But daytime hours are primarily 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is for the curbside, sidewalk, and any areas that we've got closed. Anywhere we've got the sidewalk closed, we're working from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. If we've got any night shift work, this is the stuff that's up against the buildings, the removals that are really being done outside of regular business hours. That will be from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then we also have some work where we've got underground infrastructure that needs to cross the Tempe streetcar track. And whenever we've got that kind of work happening, it'd be 7 p.m. to 5 a.m.
I'll take over. Hi, everyone. This is Allie from Downtown Tempe Authority. Just touching a bit on communication and what we're doing to communicate with all merchants. And people alike, if you have a business on Mill Avenue that is impacted with construction, we're definitely meeting with you as much as possible, as much as you want to get the information there, and making sure that there is access to your business at all times in all functions. So right here, you'll see that bottom picture is a street meter, parking meter that has been covered, and there's 4 of those around that you can use as a retailer or a restaurateur to direct your customers for short-term parking, to pick up something quick, to do quick deliveries, and those sort of things, making sure that's still available while the parking spaces in front of your business are compromised and the loading zones are compromised there. And then making sure that there is access from the street to your front door as well at all times. And then every week I do send out a merchant newsletter that is coming from my email. If you want to give me just a quick email at Ally, ALLY, at downtowntempe.com. If you're not on that distribution list, I can get you signed up for that. Just so every week that you have a little update on what construction will look like. If any questions arise, you can reply immediately to that email, and I will either get you in touch with the right person or answer the question myself that you would have, set up any meetings that you'd be interested in setting up to talk it through in person. We know this is pretty impactful for your businesses, so we want to make sure that you have all the access to the information that you could possibly. The edge off, I suppose. And those will be out on the street at various times to just keep the spirits up on the street while we're going through this construction. If there is anything that you see that we can add to this, just let me know, and we'll try to make that happen.
Hello, everybody. This is Josh with City Tempe again. Just wanted to also provide a few key project contacts. We have Aiken Gardner's superintendent out there, Scott Corbath, who has done a great job with dealing with pretty much anything we've asked him to on this project. He's been one of our main points of contact that if somebody has an immediate issue out there, but we want to make sure that if we want you to know there's other ways of communicating with us. We have our email addresses, and I'm the construction project coordinator, so I'd be the one that would be the one that would probably lead everybody in the right direction the first time instead of pushing people around. So contact me as much as possible, and I'll do the best I can to make sure you get to the right person. So next steps, we'll continue to have ongoing dialogue with the businesses and merchants. This is something that's important to us because we know it's important to you and to know what's going on. We will make sure that we are careful in our coordination with the patios and keep business access at all time, and make sure that whenever we do need to have complete access, it will be off hours and not impacting business times. Want to remind everybody of the virtual meetings every second Tuesday at 2 p.m. Our next one will be April 8th, and then we also have 2 more on the books, one May 13th, and the next one will be June 10th. With that, I'd like to open it up to questions.
Yeah, hi, this is Samir. I joined a little late. Apologies for that. Was there a map for the areas that would be impacted that could be represented?
Could you be a little more specific of the area?
Yeah, sorry, we're the henna shop, so 411 South Mill.
So you're between 5th and 4th.
Yes.
So
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, at this point in time, it'd probably be best if you guys went to the slide that Casey presented that had the verbal, right, the dates written out. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead, Casey.
You were the stretch between 5th and 4th, is that correct? Samir?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so, we'll have work going on, at Fifth Street. That'll be taking place over the summer, just on the bump out work. But the stretch between Fifth Street and Fourth Street, likely we won't be in there until towards the end of this year.
Okay.
We will
Well,
have some minor work here over the next couple weeks, where we've got a section of the sidewalk closed off. But the bulk of the actual sidewalk improvements won't happen until later this year,
Got it.
late in 2025.
Okay. Thank you.
And to give you an idea of the work that's going to be happening out there is going to be irrigation and landscape work, which will happen just behind the curb. And will, as Casey mentioned, it'll actually impede a little bit into the sidewalk, but there should be a good 10 foot of sidewalk there in front of businesses, if I'm not mistaken, correct, Casey?
Yeah, there's
Yep. We will have the bike lane and the parking lane closed during that time frame. It's going to be a couple weeks. But our plan is to give that back as soon as we've got the work done over there.
But we do plan on visiting each business here pretty soon. We're just putting together our final touches on the verbiage that we like to hand out. It's going through a review. It will be going through a review committee, and we'll be visiting you here shortly.
Thank you.
All right, if no one else has any questions, I think we'll end the meeting for today. Thank you all for joining and listening to our updates, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.